Hello, everyone. I'm back again, and this is the first actually teaching for today, and something outside the group thing. So recently, I looked into something that's called the Flaming Sword Ritual. And I performed it today. I'd known about this one for a little while, but I kind of ignored it because it's just a lot to memorize and you had to do timing and all that. I won't link it down. You can always search it, but it's going over the Tree of Life. I've basically in Occult, the Tree of Life is common into different pillars. The first pillar that I learned was the center column. I know I'm holding this sword way too incorrectly right now. There we go. The center column. So imagine this sword being just the center column. You're neither to the left, neither to the right. So you got Kete right up here, the crown, and then Malakot down here. Now if you don't know the Tree of Life, that's fine. You'll learn at least a few things about it today. And I'm not using this correctly. Okay. I'm goofing around a bit much. And what I learned about these rituals is that they work on yourself. Quite a bit, actually. Hey, so, you got Keter, Malachot, Tefereth, and I'm gonna flip this shirt right on the other side while I'm talking. And I know it's Sunday, okay, just about by the time I post this. So, a lot of you are probably exhausted from church. You're like, oh, another teaching? Oh, man. So now, if you're a teenager or a kid watching this, you're probably like, oh, this is probably something I would be interested in. And, so I may as well just give it a listen. And you have no clue what the Tree of Life is because you grew up in a church. It wasn't an occult church. Part of the occult. Modern day society, the occult has a lot of Christianity into it. There's a dark time period for it, but that was the left-hand path occult. The guilty, as you could say. And I want to go over something based off what I got the other day. The other day, I got this massive picture of the center column. So, if you don't know what the Tree of Life is, you can look it up. But I'm going to explain it. You got 3 balls right here. Or what you can also call orbs. That's what they're pictured as. Orbs. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 orbs in a center column. And we have something called the center column ritual. Once again, I won't post any links, but bear with me. The center column ritual is supposed to keep you balanced between both sides, like the LBRP and the LBRH. The lesser banishing rituals of the pentagram and of the hexagram. So, I went ahead, I saw it, there's just a purple surrounding color around me, with just yellow rings hanging around me. And then what I saw right after that was just the center column glow. I saw the Tree of Life, the center column glow bright as you can think of. of, and I'm like, I'm standing there, and I'm in shock about this, and I'm like, I've never seen this before. This is a new one to me. And when I say I've never seen it, I mean it. I'm like, I'm standing with my eyes closed. Keep in mind, whenever I'm doing something like this, my eyes are typically closed. So I'm imagining it. Like, this is not something you can think about right off point. And I was like, okay, it's a few colors, but the background's purple. You got some yellow, like angel rings. Means your typical average colors. I think a few characters came into mind. I've been watching a lot of anime here recently, so before that, a lot of anime images were popping in and out of my head, and it's just like, that's where it landed up next. And then I just saw myself surrounded by light in the exact pattern as I imagined it, because that's what magic is also based on. It's based off of what you can imagine comes to reality. Through your spoken words comes to reality, etc. and so forth. But watching it, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm astonished by it, because after that I soon thought, I worked so hard to get up to this point, where the whole column was glowing. Keep in mind, the dot was also glowing, because you got A here, and then you got Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, Elohim. Then you got the rest. So I'm just standing there. I'm taking a look afterwards. I'm like, I just sit down and I'm like, I worked so hard to get up to this point. It was worth waiting to get this strong. I'm typically very clairvoyant, so I get messages through pictures. Hers, and that light was represented by white light. It was glowing. I was neither to the left or to the right. And then I saw the sixth side, the 6 orbs remaining, hanging the 2 sides of 3. The orbs, the last few orbs, of the left-hand path and of the right-hand path. They were just faded out, because I never worked on them. And I was like, okay, this is something I got to just work on. I need to work on these pillars. I need to. But at the same time, I'm the middle path. I'm neither good or bad. Or bad or good. I'm the middle path. So I go searching the internet. I found a few invocations, and of each one of the pillars, like the invocation of Binah, the invocation of Chokhmah, etc. and so forth. And I was like, yeah, those are good. Those are good. So I go to YouTube once again. And like I mentioned at the beginning, and I'd see this ritual called the Fire Sword Ritual. And when I was at work later, I asked whether if I should focus on the left hand side first or the right hand side first. And I let someone else make this decision for me. She said the left hand side. And I was like, the bad hand side? The bad side? So it's like, okay, I will work on it. But I gotta work on this. Chokmah. Chokmah just means wisdom. It's how it's going. You go from here to Yod-He, Vav-He, my lord. Now, I am just means here in Hebrew. Here refers to I am. So, I watch it, and he was showing different colors for these orientations. And I was like, these colors are foreign to me. I'm not going to know these meanings. So I try to picture it as white. I was successfully able to do that. Because there are roots planted on both sides that just wanted to get fed. They wanted to be fed with light, not darkness. Not different colors, just white. So it started from Ehia, which we take that as the name of God. That white light just bright in the day. I did the ritual 2 times just to get it right. The first time I didn't get anything. The second time, I started to glow. Once again, if you don't know the Tree of Life, rankings 2 and on will understand a little bit more what the Tree of Life is, but it came out as a mystery. So now I'm kind of ignoring the meaning because I'm still absorbing this. I should have done a little bit more study on it, but I'm guessing the life of power. I'm going to say of Elohim that flows through light of the occult. It's greater than what we can imagine. And if you're like, oh, I'm atheistical, I'm like, you can't perform magic without acknowledging a creator. Who created you? Who created me? That's what you gotta acknowledge. If you're part atheist, you can't have that mindset and listen to something like this and be like, oh, just now realizing that if there's magic, there's a higher force that's at play. The Hecate goddess of the night, the tri-moon goddess. Same goes for Ishtar. But you gotta acknowledge the very first one that created them. And It showed me what I needed to work on. That's what it's showing me. So that brings us towards my point that I spent the whole time explaining this image to you for. It wasn't to educate you, but it was to, well, it was to educate you a little bit, but it was to educate you on what do you need to work on. What's a part of your life that you need to work on? Is it something mental? Something physical? Could it be both? Here's what I will say today. Most Americans today deal with mental activities. If you don't get over them, your life would just go downhill and sink like a rock. Like Mr. Beast. He had to get over a few mental things before he became famous. Literally. I'm assuming he has some kind of belief system, but he just won't say it to the public. Okay, that's even better. And he really could not have done it on his own. Like, he got help, yes. That's one thing. But first, he had to get over his mental state. Teenage years, he sat at home for the longest time. And he thought about going to college at one point. But his YouTube channel kicked off. He never needed it. So there'll be times he'll be on his parents' bed. Not literally in the same bed as they sleep in, but his own room, obviously. But yeah, when you look at it, he didn't stick around and stay in the same mindset. He's got it into a mindset with discipline. Don't get me wrong, it does take discipline. With discipline, Mr. Beast, or Jimmy, he said to himself, oh, I'm going to get famous, I'm going to get famous, I'm going to get famous. And that mindset went on and on until he got famous. And a lot of Americans today, they would just give up. I say Americans because that's exactly which country I am in. And I'm like, not a lot of people give up on their dreams after a while, before they become famous. Some people, yeah, they choose from a young age their lower rank position. But they never stay in the same mindset. They tell themselves, I will be successful, I will be successful, I will be successful. And those people never have a mental problem. And I won't send you out into a spiritual field with a mental problem. I want you to get over it first. Even some of the people I taught here in the Discord, or that this is linked to, I've always told them, do some shadow work. Do some shadow work. It's focused on yourself. It's focused on yourself. Write down negative things. Figure out the pattern, so you can change those patterns and fix them. So, really, that's all I have to share for you for today. Just a few thoughts I needed to get out. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. How to make it right. And I know it took me a moment to get into the zone without a script, but I hope you all get better here soon. I'll see y'all next video. Peace.